You can also progress the hip thrust to a single leg movement, and I might even suggest doing that before trying to add the super heavy dumbbells with the two-legged. So I think it might work out better for you. So there's a few different ways of you know, where to put your non-working leg. So the first one I'll show you is when you get into position. This is going to be my working leg, or maybe I'll make it this one so I can show you a little better. You can just cross your other leg over the working one like that and go down like that. That's quite challenging. Then the other thing you can do is, like, you know, like you're sitting cross-legged like that. You can do that as well. I think you might have to raise your leg a little bit so that you can get full extension. If it's like fully over, do you notice that my hip is still a little flexed here? So that's not really ideal. So I would probably lift it so that you can get enough mobility to fully extend the hip. I did find this version gave me a little medial inner knee pain when I was having some knee issues. It's doing okay for me right now, but if you have any pain with anything, there's so many different ways of doing something, so don't do it that way. Do it another way. So those are two ways. The other thing you can do is actually just leave your non-working leg just kind of like hanging out in space. You're gonna need to work real hard to keep your pelvis level, like parallel with the ground, and not like, do you see my hip drop like that? So say I'm gonna work this leg and I'm gonna leave this leg out, say. I'm not really that strong, so, but say I'm gonna do that. When I come up, you don't wanna let this hip, I'm kind of exaggerating it, you don't wanna let that hip drop. If it is and you can't help it, then we're not ready for that yet. We need to regress a little bit. So go back to two-legged or do something else with the leg. But yeah, so you can do the leg out. Or the other thing you can do is stick your leg more in the air like that. If you do that, it's going to work more of your hip rotators on the working leg side and also the non-working leg hip flexor. So let me show you what that looks like. I would say with all of these, I'm still progressing this movement myself. If you can't get some good like hip extension, hip to neutral, I would keep doing the two-legged ones, maybe with some weight or with the bands until you're strong enough. You know, you don't want to be doing a bunch of reps of the one-legged one, but you can only get to like here, you know. In that case, you want to go back to the two and just really get that full range of movement and really be able to use the glutes through that whole thing.